Hey there, what's going on, fellas? Happy hump day to you. That's right. Welcome on into the Wednesday episode here of Winning Bets, talking our sports and talking our sports betting as well. What we mentioned yesterday, sitting here enjoying not being able to wear a jacket yesterday. Today, you better put on that jacket. You better be full on bundled up. I think that cold front that's going through that Midwest is certainly nailing everybody. So what a drastic 24-hour difference we've got going on in Chicago. So bundle up there, boys. Let's have some fun and let's enjoy our sports today. Let's go ahead and recap yesterday, where normally I can sit there and talk about the events that unfolded in our plays yesterday. But quite frankly, this is also why we didn't hang out on Twitter Live, is I got a text from Kevin's wife yesterday, and he was able to have visitors up at the hospital. So that's where all my energy and focus went, and I spent the afternoon hanging out with Kevin up there. So I didn't watch these two plays. I really don't know what happened in Bournemouth-Leicester, other than stats like goals. It looks like obviously goals didn't happen. 0-0 game, and Leicester's able to go ahead and eventually get the win there in extra time. And then for Newcastle, Man City, where obviously we know Man City and what they were able to do yesterday up against Luton Town, winning the game 6-2, and Holland getting a 5-bagger right there. Newcastle, I have since seen the highlights and looked at the stats, like, what the hell did they do? 70% of the ball, only get 2 shots in the first half. Get better in the second half, but yeah, no shit, you get better in the second half. You all but had to have been better in that second half, but still not all that great still in the second half, winning the possession, not doing the goddamn thing with it. So, 2 games that, or 3 games, I would say right there, that I thought I was going to watch, but obviously, like I said, didn't end up happening. So, ultimately, not sure what happened other than a lot of frustration there with Newcastle. A lot of frustration there with Newcastle. Could have salvaged the day a little bit right there and gone 1-1, but obviously wasn't meant to be. In arbitrage, obviously we picked up a few plays yesterday and already tweeted out 3 plays today. So if you're interested in making any arbitrage, putting any free money in your pocket, there's 3 opportunities that I've already sent out a little tweet about there. You can put some free money up in your pocket. All right, let's see what everybody's up to on this morning. Then let's dive on into the action. 4 FA Cup games in action today to go ahead and round out the round of 16, and then we'll be in the quarterfinals tomorrow. So how about that one right there? Morning, Corey. Morning, Corey. 2 days away, man. 2 days away for you making a trip on down to Chicago, and we can enjoy a cold beer and maybe talk some sports, and maybe I can get you on over to the casino as well, and we'll see if we can't flip some cash. Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to you getting down here on Friday. Chris, what's going on, man? Pennsylvania, 65. You better enjoy that, because if you're getting what's going across, this country, you're going to get hit with some of this frigid cold temperatures. I mean, wild stuff, man. That's the one thing I think I've learned since I've lived in the Midwest, and it's only been since 2017, is the weather seems a lot more extreme in the Midwest. Like every, region gets, the hot and the cold and what have you. It seems to be very extremes here in the Midwest. You're not even wearing a jacket yesterday. Picking the kids up, took them to a park, just hanging out, Chris, just enjoying the day. 70 degrees, and today, holy shit, I've got the winter coat, the hood flipped up. A lot different there, Chris. Enjoy it, my man. Enjoy it. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, that's the thing too. It's windy as hell. Windy as hell today. That's why I call it the Windy City, I guess. Morning, Bill. Morning, my man. Another person in Pennsylvania. We know, of course, know Bill's a little bit there on the East Coast, there in Philly. Morning, Bill. Morning, Francisco. Morning. Morning, my man. Morning. Good day on Monday, man, as you said, and took one on the chin yesterday. Looked to bounce back. Newcastle is disappointing. Like I said, saw them against Arsenal. They were awful. Thought I was going to watch the game yesterday. Obviously, that didn't happen, as I mentioned there in the top. But, yeah, I think if that's what they're doing, you can understand it against Arsenal, right? We talk about their defensive record. But to do that against Blackburn, wow. To do that against Blackburn was shocking. So, yeah, I don't know who they're playing this week in the Premier League, but I ain't touching Newcastle with a 10-foot pole. I can tell you that. And they're not a team you want to fade, because they do have – the guys, they got it just in a rut. So it's one of those, you either think they're going to turn out of it and you want to back them, or to me, you just lay off. I would never fade a Newcastle team. So, yeah, I can't quite do it. Had the day. Well, right now we only got one play on the card. So sweep would be the gentleman's sweep there, Mike. Would be the good old gentleman's sweep. Hope you're feeling well there, Mike. Hope you're feeling well. Liverpool plus 9.5 corners. Manchester United to qualify. Let's have this comment lead right on into going ahead and talking about the 4 games. We'll, of course, throw up the one bet that we've got for us on that team total. Remember, this one's cashed in 9 of its last 13 games, cashed in both head-to-heads against Manchester United this season, and, of course, cashed in the latest head-to-head where it had the new manager, Nuno Espirito Santos, in charge. So great hit rate, giving me that plus 170, and it's cashed in 9 of their last 13. Yeah, give me that bet. That's a great spot. We know Manchester United's an absolute disaster right now. You know their center back issues, and then you get news yesterday that Rafael Varane picked up an injury in training. So you know you're not going to get Lincha Martinez, which is their best center back, and now you may not get their second best center back in Varane. I don't know how you're backing Man United to qualify. In terms of the Liverpool 9.5 corners, I mean, I guess it depends on. Here, let me actually, I thought I had this queued up, but clearly I didn't. You know, this is one of the sites, and you can tell obviously by their Twitter name, all they do is devote themselves to Liverpool. I'm not touching Liverpool with that lineup. Are you kidding me? And this is, what was that movie? Was it Happy Gilmore? Where it's like, who the F are these guys? Like, literally. Okay, you saw them in the EFL Cup final. You saw them get a cameo and maybe, 20 or so minutes, some of these guys. But, like, after Timikos, like, McConnell, who? Clark, who? However the hell you pronounce this guy's name with an N, who? Gordon, who? Dan, who? And then you get to Cody Gakpo. You're like, oh, okay, I know Cody Gakpo, but I don't know. You got bigger stones than I get to go ahead and get in a pre-match bet. With that lineup, I've seen some lineups that says Luis Diaz is going to be in there. Okay. I've seen some lineups that have Alexis McAllister in there. Okay. Those are some senior players. Those are some guys that, you would have some trust and confidence in. But those 11, I got no problem with the keeper. Largely a part of how I feel about keepers. They can either, reach the damn ball and save it, or it's a good shot and they can't save it. So no surprise that Keller's come right in and really just picked up where Allison has been all season. Again, that's just kind of the keepers. But those back 4, I feel fine in. Connor Bradley, Gomez, Quanash, and Timikos, I'm fine with that back 4. It's that midfield and above, I'm like, okay, I don't know. Now, Southampton comes into that game a really, really run of really bad, poor form. Like, can they take advantage of a depleted Liverpool lineup? I don't know. Southampton comes into this game really bad. I hear you on the line on the corners, though. It's always a good pivot when you're not sure that a team's going to get goals, but you expect them to still put pressure. You're liking them because they're at Anfield, so you expect them to still be able to apply some pressure on the goal. I don't know if I'm getting one in pre-match, though, Francisco. You may be riding that one alone, man. What's up, Tyler? What's up, man? How you doing, brother? How you doing, man? Weather's like Powerball. Yeah, right. Every day, right? You could have that. That's great. It's about as close as reality. I like that. Dealing with the thunder and hailstorms here. I tell you what, it was really cool last night watching the storm roll in. Great lightning storm for, call it half an hour. I don't know if we quite got the hail here in the Windy City, but we definitely got the lightning and the thunder and the rain. But yeah, that's the one thing I miss. So I live in a high rise in Chicago, grew up, suburbs and what have you on the east. I miss sitting on my dad's, my own back porch growing up, smelling, rain, smelling a storm coming in. I miss sitting on the back porch and watching a storm roll in. You don't get that around here. What's going on, Brian? What's going on, man? In the words of Bart Scott, can't wait. Can't wait. Let's go, my man. Can't wait. I know. I hear that. Can't wait. Friday morning. Thanks for the point of view. I'll change it to both teams to score in the Manchester game, and I'll stick to 9.5 corners. I don't know about both teams to score in Man United. Ten Hag's going to be stubborn as shit, and he's going to play Rashford at the 9. I mean, literally, did you see the game against Fulham? For about 85 minutes, that was one of the worst performances I think I've seen all season, and they've had some dreadful ones, right? Remember that stretch where we faded them against Man City? Then they played Newcastle in the EFL Cup, and we were backing Newcastle. I believe it was on the draw no bet. We got a cash. I think Newcastle whipped them 3-0 or 4-0. They were bad that day. They were awful. And so we know they're going to be bad if Rashford's the number 9. You can just count on it. I don't understand why Ten Hag played Omar Forson over Amad Diallo. Diallo is he's much more of a senior player than Forsen. I don't understand why Diallo didn't get the start against Fulham. I hope Diallo can get the start today up against Forest. But much like Varane picked up an injury in training, we learned yesterday that so did Bruno Fernandes. I've seen every United game, generally speaking. Two things I know. Rashford as the number 9, they suck. And when Bruno is not on the field, they suck. I'd rather just back Forest, man. Again, they've scored 2+ in 9 of 13. They've played United twice this season. They've hit 2+ in both of those games. I mean, you would like to think United, they can obviously only be better. Well, I guess they could be equally as shit. They can't be worse. Can't be worse than what they were against Fulham. I don't know, man. I can't quite get there on that. I'd rather just back the team that is better. I mean, we've even got a free bet on BetMGM. Remember, we missed our arbitrage play last week. I was thinking about putting together a 4-legged who to advance parlay with that free bet and see if I can correctly predict the 4 teams that would advance, and I would throw Forest in there. I would throw Forest in there over United. And then they've got the Derby coming up on Sunday. And by the way, that's a smash spot for City because City's coming off a 6-goal thriller. They've picked up clean sheets now in 2 of their last 4, I believe it is. Luton got some goals, but that first goal was like really special. Like for that one to ruin the clean sheet, you can't do anything about that, and that guy's probably not going to hit that same strike again. But Guardiola gave his guys today and tomorrow off. In his press conference, he was like, just stay at home with the family. Like, I'll see you guys on Friday. They're going to come in and say, what the shit out of United on Sunday. Paul, you like Chelsea game, both teams scoring over 2.5. I looked at a lot of predictions online after I kind of went through the numbers as well. There were a couple sites that gave the edge to Leeds. More of them gave the edge to Chelsea, but every single one had that bet, and you can still get that bet. I was at even money. You can still get that bet at even money on DraftKings, and you can also get it on even money over on ESPN Bet. I actually haven't bet it yet. I was going to, shoot the breeze with you guys and obviously get your opinion there, Paul. And okay, so it's still at even money on DraftKings if I want to pull the trigger. I hear you. Here's the thing, though, Paul, that makes me nervous. Leeds in 2024, they haven't lost. They haven't lost yet. They played 12 games. So they've gone 12 games unbeaten. You know what they've also done in 12 of those games, Paul? How about 8 clean sheets? 8 clean sheets in 12 matches. That shit doesn't happen by accident. I know it's all against championship caliber teams, but Chelsea's, you got Noah Nkunku. You're going to play Madueke. Great. He's shit. They'll play Cole Palmer probably, and that's a good player. I don't know. I've looked at some lineup predictions. They're doing some rotation for sure. I'd like to think that, but boy, Fulham's having 8 clean sheets in 12 matches was a little concerning. And the last time they were in the Premier League, obviously last season, the game that was at Leeds, which is a little different, they were able to win that game via a clean sheet. I hear you, Paul. I think if I pull the trigger on that game, that's the only bet I'm interested in is that one, but I don't know. I'd like to see lineups. That's the one concern you don't have with Forest when you look at that bet that I gave you. You don't have injury concerns on that bet. You don't have injury concerns. You don't have lineup concerns. Liverpool, Southampton, I got major lineup concerns with Liverpool. Chelsea, Leeds, I got lineup concerns with that game. And what's the other one? Wolves, Brighton. And we could talk about that one. I looked at the stats. I talked to you guys yesterday. I said, I assume it'll still be an over. You look at the stats. It still is an over. We did get burned on that most recent 0-0. We talk about don't let a bad result get you off a good bet. That one still should have goals. I hear you. Chelsea game's going to be a goal fest. I hear you, Paul. I like your bet. I like it, man. That's the only way in for me. That's the only way in for me. Or Leeds on the double chance, a plus 170. I'm not scared to even maybe possibly pull the trigger on for a half a unit. Napoli game over 2.5. They're playing, Sassuolo? Yeah, Sassuolo's in relegation now. You'd like to think, and I know I also saw Inter was playing, Atalanta? Yeah. They should be fine, and Inter's got no concerns because their next game is Monday based on the schedule. I already looked at that game. They play today, they play Monday, they play Saturday, all before they go. So they have plenty. They can do whatever the hell they want. Atalanta, I think, is sitting, I think I saw 6th or 7th maybe just in or just out of the European places. How are you not going to like Inter at home? It's minus 170 on the money line. I hear you. And Napoli should be getting to, but I don't think, if I recall from the research, I don't think Napoli's been running it up lately, have they? Yeah, they've not been running it up. The last time they got multiple goals, the last time they were able to get 3 goals, you got to go all the way back to January 18th. And that was a home match, and I'm pretty sure today's at Sassuolo. I don't know if I can get there, Das. I don't know if I can quite get there, man. They have not gone 3+ and what is that, could be over a month? Yeah, in over a month they've not scored 3+. Now, if you're just asking me about, you said game, not team total. I got this Sassuolo, got to start doing something, but right above the relegation. Sorry, right above relegation, not relegate, right above it. Actually, they are on goal differential. They are in relegation on goal differential. They got -17. They actually are in relegation. Verona's now come out of it. If you think Sassuolo can bag a goal, then I think I agree with you, Das. Napoli probably does get 2. Their most recent head-to-heads has been 2 goals, 2 goals. So they've been burned on the last 2 head-to-heads, which includes 1 time this season. You'd like to think Sassuolo can get a goal at home, but yeah. I remember Sassuolo being always an over machine. Obviously not this season with their struggles and being in a relegation battle, but I remember last season, like in these seasons, like Sassuolo is usually an over machine, but yeah, not that. 3-2 final leads. Yeah, I kind of like Leeds plus 170 on the double chance. You're going Chelsea under corners and Leeds under corners. You generally know how I feel about corners. We could look it up. We could look it up and just see what Chelsea match. If you want to look it up, I'll look it up for you. Look it up. I'm thinking about doing 4 half-unit plays is what I was kind of kicking in my head. Where's the corners tab? Corners. So in Chelsea matches, were you asking about Chelsea team? You're saying Chelsea under 8 and Leeds under 7. Okay. Let's just see. Chelsea in the league. Their games, and I'm going to give you the stats from an over perspective because that's just how this data is presented to me, so you can flip it around. But over 10.5 corners is only 40% of the time. Over 11.5 corners is 32% of the time. Their games average 10.2. Their games average 10.2. So I would think your 2 unders would probably hit. When Chelsea is home, as they are today at Stamford Bridge, their games average 10 flat. 10 flat. So you obviously get a little bit of a downtick. Teams on Chelsea get, let's see, teams on Chelsea get, where the hell are they? There they are. Chelsea is allowing teams to get, let's just do 7.5 because you're on under 7, or you're asking about under 7. 28% of the time are teams getting 8 or more corners against Chelsea. So you would think under 7 is probably pretty good if it's only happening 28% of the time. And then on the flip side of that, Chelsea, they get, you're asking for under 8, so we'll do the same thing, 7.5, only 16% of the time. So looks good. Looks good, man. Looks good. Corners bet, so I'll stay away. It was 7-5 Leeds last game. Last head-to-head, or last time Leeds was just on the pitch against, what was that, Leicester on Friday? Man, that was a good comeback there. Getting 3 unanswered goals. That was 3 unanswered goals. So you mean the last head-to-head 7-5. Okay, just pulled that up. That's when Chelsea won 1-0 at Stamford Bridge. What was it when Leeds won 3-0 at Elland Road, or whatever the hell it's pronounced? That one had 10-6-4. Yeah, I hear you, man. I mean, even I just rifled off the stats, so it looks good. I didn't look it up from the championship side. I only looked up Chelsea, obviously. What website are you looking at? I can give it to you. This is one of the many. But there's one right there, and then you'll see there's so many ways you can sort it. Halftime, full-time, first half, second half, home and away, last 6, last 10. I mean, you whatever you think matters, that site generally can carve it up for you there, Chris. So there it is right there. All right. My free bet on MGM expires, so I got to get in a bet there. I gotta use that sucker. So do I do a 4-way? What's a 4-way? Let me just punch in 4 teams to advance. Let me just see what these odds are. I'm gonna do Leeds. Where 2 qualify? I'll take a chance on Leeds. I'll take a chance on Forest. I'm definitely not backing United. Wolves, Brighton. Did y'all see Matomo when he burned us? That was one of our not lineup screw jobs on Saturday. Not like a City and a Man United one, but man, not having Matomo definitely hurt. Anyways, he's out for the season with a back injury. And this one's tight. I mean, they have 39 and 38 points in the league. Brighton's only conceded one more goal, but they've scored 9 more goals. Yeah, they've only got one more point than Wolves. If you go look at, they've already played twice this season. It was 0-0 and it was 4-1 Brighton. If you go look at the lineups, Brighton had a much better lineup in that 4-1 win as opposed to that 0-0. They had Matomo in there. They had Marsh in there. They had Cisco up in there. He's been out for months. Has Cisco been out? Matomo is now out and Marsh is out. So, like, are we going to go back to that 0-0 game even though the stats look good for an over? If I was doing a 2 qualify, though, I would probably drop in Brighton. And then for the other ones, Liverpool, Klopp magic, baby. Klopp magic. These youngsters, we don't know how many youngsters he's going to start. He's got to start a handful of them just due to just sheer injuries. Yeah, I'd still back. So what does that parlay pay out? 21 to 1, and I would be putting $12 on it because that's what our free bet is. $12 and I think 28 cents is that free bet if I'm recalling the exact amount. Get Leeds, Forest, Brighton, Liverpool to qualify. Might have to pull the trigger on that. Might print. There you go. Take Memphis and the Wolves under 210. See, DraftKings been sitting these tweets out where, like, dude's been parlaying every under on the entire slate and crushing it. I'll look up NBA stuff tomorrow there because I know we'll get our risk-free promos and shit. So we'll dive into some NBA tomorrow. I'll give you guys my best bet in every game if I had to bet it. Obviously, Wolves. I mean, that's an official bet. If I had to go Chelsea, Leeds, would I do Leeds double chance or would I do the both teams to score in over 2.5? I'm probably with you, Paul. I think that's probably the safer bet is the over 2.5 and both teams to score. Wolves, Brighton. I'd probably just go draw. I think that one's going to go to extra time and maybe even penalties. I mean, like I said, they're neck and neck in the Premier League. What was the 0-0? Like, what were the XG? Like, I'm going to look at the XG bet on that 0-0 draw. Let me look that up for a second. Even the XG was pretty even. It was 1.59 to 1.39. That's a damn near, pretty even XG. I'd go actually draw on that one. I'd go draw on that on my best bet, and then that leaves Liverpool, Southampton. I would do, and I'm waiting on lineups, I would do Liverpool money line, a parlay with under 4.5 goals. Comes in at plus 110 over on DraftKings. Those would be my 4 best bets. Can you say that parlay again? Here, I'll just type it up. Qualify. There you go, my man. MLB can't come soon enough. I hear that. Why did we not take the Tigers yesterday with Alek Manoah on the mound? Like, we could have had some fun yesterday. We should have just bet on the Tigers. Alek Manoah, if you didn't see his line, 1.2 innings pitched through 38 pitches, had 17 strikes of 38 pitches, hit 3 batters, and yet he had a good outing. He was like, oh, my fastball is sitting mid-90s. I did pretty goddamn good. You couldn't throw a strike 50% of the time and you hit 3 batters. I don't think you did. Oh, and he gave up 4 runs in an inning and 2/3. He got rocked. Why did we not take the Tigers, boys? Remember that? Will somebody on this show remind me the next time Manoah's on the bump and maybe we'll get in our first MLB preseason bet ever? Wolves, Brighton, a goal scored. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't know. What does that bet cost? Let's get a look and see what that bet costs. Let's see. Wolves, Brighton. Let's see. You want to get Just a goal. Don't give a shit who scores it. I don't even know where you find that prop. That's going to be a little difficult for me to pick it up here on the fly. Yeah, I don't quite know where to find that prop. To score a goal to be scored in both halves. Here you go. Minus 182. I say it all the time. Obviously, I've got a different cutoff. If that's obviously within your wheelhouse, yeah. I mean, stats look good for an over. But I don't know if I can quite get there. I'd like to draw more. Just everything is even with those teams. I like the draw. I like that thing going to extra time, and I like it possibly going to penalties. That's where I like it. I guess that's right. I mean, really, the dude is like, oh, mid-90s on my fastball. I had a good outing. I mean, based on what you did in 2023 when you got demoted to the minors and damn near kicked out of baseball, I guess that was a good outing. I don't know, man. I don't know. All right, I'm going to come along with you, Paul. I'm going to do it for a half a unit. I've already price shopped it. I know the best price is over on DraftKings and ESPN Bet. It's even money. I'll come along. Give me a Chelsea. Man, Leeds 8 clean sheets in 12. Man. Who did Chelsea have when they got clean sheeted 3-0 by Leeds last year? When Leeds was able to clean sheet them 3-0, who was that in that lineup that day? Sterling, he'll be in there today, likely. Gallagher will likely be in there today. Wow, none of these defensive guys. Koulibaly's in Saudi Arabia. Thiago Silva's injured, and Reece James is injured. So none of those defensive players will be in there. Mendy won't be in there. I think he's in Saudi Arabia now. You're going to get a completely different Chelsea lineup. No Kai Havertz, no Mason Mount, no Jorginho, no Cucurella, no Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Why? I still don't understand why Chelsea blew up a team that just won the Champions League in 2021. Todd Boyle, he has ruined Chelsea in the short term, maybe even in the long term. They just won the Champions League. It's a parlay piece? Gotcha. Want to bet women's soccer? Well, that didn't go last time somebody threw out a bet. They said the United States was going to win 0, and, well, the other thing happened. Mexico won 0. But what you got? Spain to win the trophy and over 2.5 goals. I don't even know what trophy you're talking about. To be quite honest, is this a summer of the Women's World Cup? Is that what we're talking about? Or is this the Women's Euros? I don't even know what you're talking about. No idea what you're talking about, my man. Couldn't even tell. You got to give me a touch more information there, Francisco. That is not on my radar. No idea what you're talking about. Let's see if we can figure it out. No, I have no idea what you're talking about. No idea. I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off for the lineups before I make that Chelsea bet official. Gold Cup. Okay, gotcha. Why would Spain be in the Gold Cup? I thought that was an American. Clearly, I don't know. Okay, great. Here you go. How does qualify to work? Well, there's no replays in this round of the FA Cup. I think replays start in the... Did they start in the quarterfinal? Either way, there's no replay. So in 90 minutes, if you have a draw game, they'll go to extra time. They'll play 2 15-minute halves, regardless if somebody scores. This is not a golden goal. Remember the golden goal days? Anybody? How long y'all been soccer fans? Remember the golden goal days? Anyways, they don't do golden goal anymore. So you get 2 guaranteed 15-minute halves. And then if it's tied, you go to penalty kicks to decide it. That's the best of 5. If it's tied after 5, then you go, 1-1-1-1. But qualify just means you got to get to the quarterfinals. However the hell you do it. You do it in 90, you do it in extra time, do it in penalties. It doesn't matter. Qualify is, at the end of the day, one of those teams will be in the quarterfinals. That's what we're talking about to qualify. I think I'm going to go ahead and log into BetMGM and use that bet. I mean, it expires tonight. I don't bet anything at this time of year other than really soccer. We dabble in the NBA, but that's only on risk-free opportunities. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and do it there, Das. I'm queuing it up now. Our free bet is, I was right, $12.28. I'm going to come on in here. Give me Leeds to qualify. Leeds to qualify. Going in, taking down a Chelsea team that's low on confidence, beat up, not feeling it. Give me Forest. And I can't. And now that I'm locked in on this, I'm making this a bet. Yeah, give me Rashford up the middle. Give me Bruno Fernandes injured. They're going to be awful. I'll take Brighton. Give me Rafael Varane out with an injury, and I'm taking Klopp Magic. I don't give a shit how many kids are playing. It's 21-34. Apply that bonus bet, $12.28. Take that screenshot. Bam. I'm on it. There it is. 14 qualify. Leeds, Forest, Brighton, Chelsea. Or no, I meant Liverpool at the end. Leeds, Brighton, Forest, Liverpool. Chelsea scored on Liverpool and Man City. They can get one today. I hear you, man. I think if I get lineups, I'm going to come on there for a half unit that both teams are scoring over 2.5. Again, that's really the only way in it. I like Leeds on the double chance, but at the end of the day, it is a championship side going up against the Premier League side, and the Premier League side is at home. So, probably won't mess with that. I think you're right. I think that both teams scoring over 2.5 is the way to come in that game, and I just need to see lineups. It'd be nice to see if Bamford's playing, right? I don't know. I mean, Leeds, like if you're in on that bet and all of a sudden Leeds wants to sit Bamford, I'd be like, oh shit, what are we doing sitting Bamford today? It's worth seeing the lineups, especially when this morning I was looking, it was -110 and now it's even money. So it could either just kind of stay the same or could kind of get better. I'd want Bamford in. I'd want Wilfred Ganato up in there. Ganato is. Oh, man, he's fantastic. Remember watching him last year in the Prem? Ganato was fantastic. I'd love Wilfred Ganato to be up in there. So I'm going to hold on lineups, but I hear you, Paul. I hear you. Yeah, there's no reason to have those guys run around and replay the same shit. Just move it to extra time and let's figure out who the hell's better. Get it done and dusted with. So, all right, boys, I'm just going to roll Forest team total for now. I guess Forest team total. I've given you my opinions. I've given out enough opinions, analysis, leans. So if you want to dabble more pre-lineups, go for it. Don't be surprised if I add Chelsea Leeds. Both teams score over 2.5 at even money. And don't be surprised if I add Liverpool money line plus the under 4.5 goals at +110 over at DraftKings. Those two additions, I would just do half a money or half a unit and just roll with 3 half a units today, I guess. Even though +110... those are full units all day long, but I don't know. Probably just do half a unit. If you need a juice reducer, yeah, sure, enter. And I don't know, Sassuolo is not good enough for me to back them on any real thing, and obviously not something I watch on any regular basis, and I'm not watching Serie A. Oh, that is frustrating. That is super frustrating. Thank you, Francisco. Thank you, my man. Thank you. All right, I would say we're going to hang out, or I'm not going to say we're going to hang out. It's going to be the same thing yesterday. I already know as soon as I hit finish on this broadcast, I'm going to go to the hospital and visit my buddy Kevin. So I am going to come home early enough to watch games, but will I be mentally and emotionally in a place where I can hop on Twitter and be all happy daily and watch some games? Probably not, if I'm being honest. So, probably not. No. You're not understanding me. I did a really piss poor job of explaining that. I must have done a really piss poor job of explaining that. You lose, you don't qualify. I'm just saying, at the end of 90 minutes, if you've won the game, you qualify. If the game is a draw after 90 minutes, you go to extra time. If you're able to, find a winner in extra time, then you qualify. And if the game is still draw after extra time, you go to penalties, and then it's the best of 5. Or then it's sudden death if it's tied after 5. So, no, you cannot lose in qualify. You lose, you're out. You lose, you're gone. You need to win. It's just a matter of, do I win in regulation, do I win in extra time, or do I win in penalties? But you got to win. You got to win. It is, that's what I did. Mine was 23-14, I think. So we're the same bet, 23-14. Sounds like you put the same 4 teams in it. Good luck. Good luck to you. Good luck to us. Good luck to anybody else that wants to go ahead and ride Leeds, Forest, Brighton, and Liverpool to go ahead and advance today. Good luck for everything else, boys. Come on back for tomorrow. I do know we got between the posts tomorrow. Should be 10 games of the Premier League. I don't think there's any reason why there's not 10. Like last week, obviously the EFL Cup. So should be 10 games to preview tomorrow with Matt. Obviously give out some bets for that. I already know I'm going to be on City. I don't know. I'll be on City. We'll see else. I don't even know who plays. Other than Manchester Derby, I don't even know who plays. I've not looked ahead to the weekend. I've not really looked ahead to the weekend. So I wanted to actually, let me look through my bookmarks. Let me look through my bookmarks here for a second. There, Chris, because you asked the website. I'm just wondering, just trying to think off the top of my head, like what's another one like I use a ton. This is the one I use for Premier League only lineup predictions. But that site that I gave you, that's by far the best one. There's one right there for lineup predictors. And then if you want, you can always do this one too. It's kind of repetitive than shit, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, dog it. Hold on. Whoops. This was a little repetitive. I think the first one I gave you, it presents the information a little cleaner. But I do use this one from time to time, so you can have that one as well. All right. And then Flash Score, too. Flash Score is a great tool to use. Got to use Flash Score as well. So, all right, boys, that's how we'll do it. We'll go ahead and roll with Tottenham or Forest on that team total. Give me Nottingham Forest on that team total over 1.5 goals. See if that can't cash for 10 times in their last 14 matches and give us a good plus 170. Don't forget about that free roll. Go ahead and use that free bet. We earned it. Go ahead and use it on that 14 qualify. Follow me out on Twitter. We've got lineups dropping. I'm showing 12:30. Yeah, 12:30. And then Liverpool's at 1. So lineups dropping 12:30, 1 o'clock Central Time. Just look for me on Twitter, see if I don't pull the trigger and add anything to it. All right, boys. Thanks for hanging out with me on Hump Day. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. And we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow. Let's cash, boys.